So here's a look at ARK. Not a lot on the monthly chart. Pretty fairly new coin. So really nothing there to look at. We go to the weekly, and now you start to see a rhythm here developing, a nice cycle. So this last bull run saw a pretty good move that started in August and ran till basically the end of September, followed by another down cycle that commenced in November. So 2-month cycle there. We turned back up in December, cycled up into the 22nd of January. That was basically, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 weeks cycle, and now we've been back in a down cycle, which has been very. This weekly cycle started a lot later than the overall market that's been in a down cycle, 8 to 9 week down cycle. When we talk about the majors, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., that down cycle started back in end of December. So this is still playing out. When we look at the daily, this is a pretty sideways market, and what we want to look for, I guess you draw this a little bit here. It's just simply following this pattern of lower highs, which is going to tell you the trend. So once you broke the bands here, it was basically lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And then right here, you failed to resume that pattern. You got above the highs here in December. That opens up the door to a new uptrend with higher highs and higher lows. Now we started to fail to hold these lows right at the bands with this last weekly cycle rolling over, and now the bands are actually negative. So if I don't have a position here, but if I was long, I would be out and flat and just waiting to see if we can regain this area. Now you have pi down here, which is starting to show up. There's been enough days that are getting a pi line. But just being in the northern hemisphere doesn't really give me reason just to be extremely bullish or want to jump on and put a position on here in this particular coin. So that's what I think. You need to get back above here. This daily cycle bottomed. But you see how the bands were all flat, and it wasn't until you made a higher high here, you made a higher low, and then this was a real money candle that set off this entire move. And you had several pullbacks there to get involved. All right. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get another run like this if and when the overall market kind of turns back up. But that's the area you want to watch right here. You can look at it on the 4-hour. Lots of lower highs. You see the pi line, guys, here on the 4-hour shows you that same thing. This was an uptrend. Price was in the northern hemisphere. Now it's rolled below it. It's showing you that relative weakness. Good places to buy. Boom, 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 boom. But I'm not a buyer here from a technical, from a price perspective, and from a cyclical perspective. I'm on the sidelines here on this token.